Another episode of the Portrait Profits Show. I am so glad you guys are here with us today. We've got some good stuff in store for you. I hope you've got your pen and paper ready. We're going to be talking about your compelling statement, your compelling description. You want people to see you more than just another option as a photographer. So today, I'm going to share with you how to create compelling descriptions of who you are and what you do. So you can communicate your purpose, your values, your offerings in a way that intrigues the person you're speaking with, causing them to want to know more about you. In today's episode of the Portrait Profit Show, you'll create compelling descriptions that will make you unforgettable. My name is Jim Landers, and my mission is simple. I help portrait photographers like you make a great income doing what they love. Each week, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales, reducing the struggles that most photographers make so that you can finally get what you deserve. You're in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab. And from Digital Pro Lab, we have Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Happy Monday, Jim.
Happy Monday to you, too. Did you have a great weekend?
I did. I had a very good weekend. Went on a photo walk with a good friend of mine, and
Good.
and then went to go see a symphony concert, which I hadn't seen in a couple of years, actually, a live symphony concert. So that was very nice. Yeah.
Nice. Did you know that, and let me put this up, that today represents that we have passed 10% of the year so far?
I
Today is
did not.
today's day number 37 of 364. So this is your 10% checkup, guys. Are you where you need to be? We still got 90% left. That's the good news. But 10% is gone. If you multiply what you've done so far times 10, you happy with that? That's probably too simple a way to do it, but are you where you need to be at 10%? So how do you feel about at 10% already?
That was a lot of reality for early on a Monday morning. I guess we're at noon, so yeah, I think it's
Yep.
good. I think it's good to ask that question. It's good for us to be jarred into that realization, and sometimes you need to see it in tangible numbers so that you can actually say, okay, wow, 10% already. We blinked, and all of a sudden it's 1/10 of the year is done. What am I going to do with the rest of it? Do I have my plan already in place? Am I executing it? I know me and my business advisors, we talk about something called rocks. So I don't know if you're familiar with that term. Do you remember the analogy for rocks, Jim?
Yeah, I do. And I like that one. I use it a lot.
Yeah, you want to explain it really quick for everybody?
Sure. So imagine that your life is a, a big jar and you can fill it with whatever you want to. It's your life. You can fill it with all the fun stuff, all the important stuff, all the stuff. And you hear all the time you're supposed to have good work life balance. So how do we actually do that? Because most of the time, what people describe doesn't really fit that, and it's not always the right solution anyway. So the rock analogy means instead of if you were to, let's say, fill that jar with a bunch of the small rocks, the things that were important but mostly just fun, then you could absolutely fill that jar with all the fun stuff. But you'd have no room for the important stuff and the most important stuff, so you'd have to start over, dump that out, and then put in. Let's start off with just the big rocks, the things that are the most important to you. So that would be it could be family, it could be work, it could be the hobbies that you have. What it's up to you what it is. It could be an organization that you believe strongly in, that you want to invest more of your time and volunteering into. And so whatever your most important things are, those are your big rocks, and you put those in first. When you do that, you allow room for the other things. When you fill your life with all the little minutia things that are, the day-to-day important things and the fun stuff, you'll get so bogged down with all the day-to-day minutia that you won't ever reach the big things that you want in life.
Exactly. And I know when I'm thinking about it, right in that first 10% of the year that we've already finished, it's like, okay, did I have my rocks placed in first? Am I focused on those because that's the foundation of the entire year? And for us, in my own mentorship that I have, they really emphasize that. Make sure you're focused on all those priorities first, and then everything else you can add into your jar. But those are the ones that are taking up the most space. And when those take up the most space at the beginning, then you'll see how much space you have for all the other little incidental things. So, keep that in mind. Hopefully y'all are putting your rocks in first. And if you're not, maybe you need to dump that. We're still early in the year for you to kind of dump that jar out and then reconfigure what you're placing in that jar. So I love that analogy. I think it's a good one.
It is a good one. I think the first time I heard it was when Robin shared it with me, back, probably 92. I'm sure that analogy's been around as long as people have been around to tell it. But I think it was when I first heard of it. It was either late 80s or early 90s, first time I heard it. And I think it was Robin, she had heard it somewhere and was sharing it. She was doing a presentation to a group of photographers back in the early 90s. And that was, one of her presentations had that in it. And so I remember it.
Good. You're listening.
Nice. So you guys, I want you to, I want to encourage you. We want to encourage you to interact with us. I want you to hit that like button, hit that love button. I want you to let us know that you're here by entering in hashtag live, and in the comments. But if you haven't already, then I'd like for you to look at this banner that's going across the bottom. We use a platform called StreamYard that allows us to be able to simulcast this show to multiple places. We're on 5 different Facebook pages, 2 different YouTube channels, and 1 LinkedIn page. And in order to do that, we have to have a platform that causes us to be able to do that so that we can interact with all of them at the same time. But because of that, we don't know who you are unless you tell us. And the way is by clicking on this link that you're seeing it going across the screen, streamyard.com/Facebook. That allows us to know that you're here on Facebook. Now, it doesn't allow us to know about YouTube and LinkedIn, but at least most of the channels that we're on, we will be able to know who it is that is interacting with us. So click that so we know that you're here, and then go to the comments section and enter in hashtag live. That tells us you're watching live. By the way, if you're watching this as a replay, hashtag replay. So we enjoy the interaction. We want the questions. We want the comments. And of course, we appreciate the thank yous and the this is great and the keep on doing this. That encourages us. It tells us that you enjoy what it is that you're getting here during the Portrait Profits Show. So of course, do that. Hit that like button, hit that love button, and do it multiple times throughout the presentation, assuming that it's deserved. I'm glad you guys are here. So anything else you wanted to share before I move into this stuff?
I'll save it for the end. Let's jump in.
All right. I'll see you in a little bit, Amanda. Thank you. So I'm going to look over at the comments and do a couple of shout outs. So I see Dave is here and Steve is here. Sharon, how are you doing? And several Facebook users. By the way, Facebook user, it means that either the link didn't work for you, and that does sometimes happen, or that you have chosen to remain anonymous. And that's you don't click that link if you want to remain anonymous. So I'm so glad that you guys are here. Again, if you're here watching live, please enter in the hashtag live. Now, today we are talking about your compelling description. And before I move into that, I want to request that you share the Portrait Prophet Show. So I'll put up that real quick so that that's sitting there as I'm sharing just a little bit about why I feel it's important to share this show. So, Portrait Prophets friends, as you know, Amanda and I deliver the Portrait Prophets show to you every single Monday. That's 50 plus times a year, even on holidays, for free. We don't read off ads from ZipRecruiter or Indeed. There's no video commercial from Netflix. All the time and expenses are funded from our own pockets. You get each Portrait Prophet show researched, written, edited, produced, and presented to you for free. But as the old adage goes, there's no free lunch. There is a price to pay. And here's what it is. Please share the Portrait Prophet show with others. This show is our mission, and our purpose is to help others who've helped and continue to help us. There is no donate now, no Patreon subscription to cover costs. We believe that we have something better, and that's you. I only ask that if you receive value from something you get here on the Portrait Prophet Show, that you pay for it. You pay for it by paying it forward, by sharing. Help us to fulfill our mission and to have a contribution here to have our contribution here positively impact more photographers, and together doing a small part in building a brighter future. Think about it. With every share, every recommendation, we are building a brighter future, uplifting all photographers. For those who have been doing it, thank you. For those that are doing it regularly, thank you. For those who will start to share now, thanks in advance. Let's make a difference together and build a brighter future for the photography community. Hit that share button. And thank you for doing so. So let's take that back off, and this too. There we go. All right. So today we are talking about your compelling description, which is one of the 5 workspace statements. Now, I want to describe what that is. I want to see if I have nope, I don't have it. I was looking for the graphic for it, but I didn't upload it. So the 5 workspace statements are the mission statement, vision, value, target market, and your compelling description, the one we're doing today. I call them workspace statements because I believe that they need to be displayed in your workspace so that you can see them and read them often. That way you're influenced by them throughout the day, which I believe will constantly realign you to the path that causes you to reach your goals. Today, we're talking about your compelling description. Maybe it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Creating a compelling description helps to communicate your purpose, values, and offerings. But that's just the surface, because when it's done right, it's done in a way that intrigues the person you're speaking with. Your life purpose as a portrait photographer is to bring joy and happiness to your clients through your art. You already know that your portraits are not just pictures or pictures on a wall or a screen. They're a window into the life of your subjects. Your base function as a portrait photographer is to help people remember the things that matter most, to remember the people that they love, and the moments that have brought them happiness. I know that there are many times that you may have struggled with the quality of your work, or maybe that there have been times when you're feeling like you're just going through the motions. So, just in case you need it, and by the way, if you need to hear this in the comments, write, I needed to hear this. I'm reminding you that your portraits, not portraits, period, your portraits have the power to move people in ways that few things in this life can. Your work brings tears of joy, it evokes memories. What you do for others is cherished not only by them, but by those who love them. The work you do extends well beyond your awareness. So, my friends, embrace your purpose as a portrait photographer. Remember that every time you press that shutter button, you're conveying a piece of someone's heart and soul. I guarantee that every time someone looks at your portraits, they will feel grateful and happy that they have such a special moment that they get to continue to enjoy forever. Do you agree with that? Tell me in the comments. I like that interaction. Is this working for you? Tell me in the comments. I want to take a moment to ask this question. Why do you have a passion for photography? I mean, if you go to someone's About Me page, 9 times out of 10, that's what they're going to say. I am passionate about photography. I actually care about my clients. Uh huh. All of us do. It's not a differentiator. Why do you have a passion for photography? Think about what caused it in the first place. Think about the joy you feel when creating photographs. Think about the joy you feel when delivering your photographs, as well as the emotions that are conveyed through your images. Why do you have a passion for photography? I want to talk about first impressions. Do you describe yourself in a way that is going to excite your ideal client, causing them to do something? Are you a good first impressionist? I believe that it's beneficial to be able to intrigue your ideal client right off the bat, whether it's in person or whether it's your online presence. Some of us wonderful creatives have confidence issues. Maybe most of us. But creating a great first impression is going to increase your confidence tremendously. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. An effective self description is a mini presentation designed to trigger the interest of those who you want to work with. It does this by communicating specific information, enticing them to want to hear more. An effective description grabs attention and encourages interest, enthusiasm, and questions for you to respond to. Some have found it to be one of the most effective tools for promoting their business. So, in the show today, we're going to discuss 4 base ways to create compelling descriptions. A 1-sentence description, sometimes referred to as an elevator pitch, a 30-second description, a speaker introduction, and the About Me page on a website. I'm also going to briefly add in slogans since they're so closely related. Let me define each one of these 4 real quick. The 1-sentence description. A 1-sentence description is a catchy and memorable way to sum up the purpose and value that you bring. It differentiates you from your competitors. First of all, the fact that you're saying it, but it differentiates you because of what it is that you're describing that you do, how you do it. You may have heard it called an elevator pitch because if you were to share this while on an elevator, you just don't have much time to make a good first impression. Now, the second one is the 30-second description. That is an effective and helpful way to communicate your business offerings and value proposition quickly and concisely. And it is prepared in a way that attracts your potential clients. It can be used in a variety of contexts, such as a follow up to your one sentence description. When someone says, "That's interesting, tell me more." It could also be used in presentations or pitches, if you use that word, to your clients, to partners, in social media, online profiles, several different ways. Your speaker introduction. This is one that people don't expect to be on this list. One of the show titles for the Portrait Profits show was a year and a half ago, was called The 4 Steps to Effective Speaking. Go to our YouTube channel and under the live tab, you'll find it. But there's one thing that really needs to be done before you speak. Yes, speak. It's one of the things I recommend is getting out in front of your target market. So you want to have a fantastic introduction when that happens. So write it. Write it about yourself in third person. How do you want to be received? And the fourth one, the About Me page on your website. Of course, this needs to be good. Not everyone bothers to read it. I get it. But for those who do, you want something that's intriguing, causing them to want you and only you. So let's go over each one individually. Starting off uh, with your one sentence description. A one sentence description is a short, concise statement that summarizes the main purpose and the value or your unique selling point. It's meant to be a memorable and catchy uh, short statement that causes them to want to know more about what it is that you're doing. A one sentence description is often used as either the inspiration for a slogan. Sometimes it's a slogan, but that's really not what its purpose is. And it's intended to quickly uh, communicate the key aspects of the business to potential clients or customers. Now, it's not meant to go over everything. It's meant to intrigue people. So it can be used in a variety of contexts, such as marketing materials, on social media, on online profiles. For example, a one sentence description for a professional photographer might be: "We capture authentic, timeless portraits that tell the unique stories of our clients and their families." Hmm. But doesn't that sound like a mission statement? Is a one sentence description the same thing as a mission statement? No, it's similar though. A one sentence description is not the same thing as a mission statement. While a one sentence description is short, like a mission statement, concise, and summarizes the main purpose or value proposition of a business, a mission statement is more detailed. It's meant more to outline the business's purpose, goals, and values, sharing what the business does, who it serves, and the impact it hopes to have. It serves as a guide for a guide forcing the business's actions and decisions. It's typically the one sentence statement is generally a shorter and catchier version of a mission statement. You might think, okay, if it's shorter, then doesn't that make it a slogan? Okay. Well, a slogan is a short, memorable phrase that is used to represent a product, a service, a business. It's supposed to be catchy and easy to remember, and is often used in the marketing materials of a business. Some businesses change it out regularly. For Landers Photography School, I change it out annually, but some have the same slogan always for their entire career. It's up to you how you want to handle that. So, a one sentence description is a short, It's short, and it's memorable like a slogan. It conveys purpose like a mission statement. A one sentence description is a short, concise statement that summarizes what you do as a photographer, and it forms the basis for answering the question, what do you do? Here's a statement. What I actually do as your photographer is not just show up and press a shutter button. The neighbor could have done that. Okay, that's true. That's neither a slogan nor a one sentence description. So, what does a portrait photographer do, and what efforts are involved in the completion of their work? Let's just talk about that for a little bit. You know what you have to do. Let's discuss it. The first is you're planning, you're preparing. A portrait photographer spends time planning and preparing for each photography session, including research, scouting locations, coordinating with vendors, assistants, and of course, their clients to ensure that all the necessary details are covered. Setting up the lighting of the scene. A portrait photographer sets up the equipment that is necessary to create beautiful images, which may include lighting and other technical equipment. So they have to get that prepared. They have to know ahead of time what it is that they need. How about during a session? Well, you've got to be able to direct, talk to, communicate, pose your subjects. A portrait photographer works with their subjects to direct them in a way that's flattering, that's conveying their unique personalities and characteristics. How about after they're done? Well, you're culling the images. A portrait photographer makes a variety of images during a photography session, but then they are carefully selecting the best ones for presentation. You shouldn't be showing every single image you create, by the way. I've heard people say, well, that's what they expect. Don't let the inmates run the asylum. Only show your best work. Editing and retouching. A portrait photographer spends time editing and retouching the selected images so it meets the client's needs and preferences, and of course, yours as the photographer, as the artist. And then delivering the final images. In this instance, a portrait photographer delivers the completed images to the client in a format that's appropriate for their needs, whether that's digital files, prints, albums. I'm always delivering in prints because that's what I believe in. So, a portrait photographer does a variety of time consuming steps, making sure that their images are of high quality and convey the unique personalities and stories of their clients using a combination of technical skills, artistic vision, and top level client service. Okay. With that, we're just heading in the right direction to be able complete a one sentence description. But what I've just said, while true, is not exciting. It's not going to intrigue anyone. It's just for our mindset, get us thinking about what we're doing. Obviously, even that summary was a little long for this. And while it might seem, or excuse me, while that statement, and I'll just read it again. A portrait photographer does a variety of time-consuming steps, making sure that their images are high quality and convey the unique personalities and stories of their clients using a combination of technical skills, artistic vision, and top-level client service. So it's educating your clients. It isn't that it's bad. It's a little long, but it's not exciting. It's not something that intrigues and excites prospects. So here is an example or some considerations and a guide to help you in creating your one sentence description. How's this? I create wall portraits for families as heirlooms, conveying their love and relationships to be enjoyed now and to share with future generations. Pretty clean, pretty clear, and intriguing to those who have an interest. Now, I'm going to give you two templates to help you create that. I'm gonna put these on the screen on the bottom. What you see inside the brackets is where you enter in what is appropriate for what you do. So what you do, that what your target market values of your ideal client. It's that simple. Now, I'll give you a second one. You can do a screenshot of that if you want, or maybe there's enough time to write it down. Here's the second one. Almost the same. I've just switched the two at the end. So and this is what you do for ideal client, and then what your ideal client values most. So let's give some examples of one sentence descriptions and some slogans, just so you have some contrast there. First one, I capture authentic, timeless portraits that tell the unique stories of my clients and their families. The second, I create beautiful, meaningful portraits that capture the essence of active high school seniors. And the third, I specialize in creating stunning, one of a kind portraits that reflect the individual personalities and group dynamics of loving families. That, by the way, is my favorite of the group. So I'm going to repeat it. I specialize in creating one of a kind, stunning portraits that reflect the individual personalities and group dynamic of loving families. For those who have an interest in that subject, they're intrigued by that. They're going to want to know more. Now, what might a slogan be? All right. It could be capturing the stories one portrait at a time. Pretty good slogan. It's not how you'd introduce yourself, though, which a one sentence description has to do. Now, because I am not the biggest fan of the word capturing, and that's just because it's used so much, I'm going to give you two more slogans that don't include that word. So the second slogan is creating beautiful, timeless memories. And the third, bringing your vision to life through portraits. Those are examples of slogans. No, that was just slogans are bonus material because of how similar they are. And I need to share with you the contrast, the difference between a slogan and a one sentence description. So, by the way, if you're getting something out of this, if this is helping you, would you do me a favor in the comments and tell me? Tell me it's helping. This is great. I appreciate this. I needed to hear that. Whatever it is that's appropriate, go over to the comments. You can do it multiple times throughout the show. I'm encouraging that. Multiple times, 3, 4, 5, 10, as many times as you want. There's no limit and there's no charge. Let me know that it's helping. I want to know. I want to know. By the way, if you're enjoying what you're hearing, write something in the comments or just click the like button. Click that love button. Right now, I have it shows me the live, how many are watching live. I think it's the largest number on any one of the channels or places we're at, and it shows, I think, the largest number of likes, loves that we have on any one channel. I'm not sure that that's what it shows, but I think that's what it's showing, and it shows that the number is at nine likes right now on whichever uh, uh, of the places that we're simulcasting to has the largest number. That largest number looks like it's 9 based on what I'm looking at here. So let's get that number up to 10. I just need one more. So again, if this is helping, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'm going to take a look at those comments real quick and do some more shout outs. Hey, Ken, I'm glad you're here. Let's see. Juan. Hey, Juan, glad you're here. And Steve and Sharon. And let's see. Janice is here. Alexander Devora, how you doing? I'm glad you're here. Hey, Mimi and Jero and a whole bunch of Facebook users. And glad you guys are here. All right. So I want to move into the 30-second description. This is a description that communicates the business offerings and value proposition quickly and concisely. It's, of course, prepared in a way that attracts your ideal clients. It can be used in a variety of contexts, such as a follow-up to your one sentence description when someone asks that's when someone says that's interesting, can you tell me more? It can be used in different marketing materials. It can be used to talk to clients or partners, social media, online profiles. So let's talk about how to create your 30-second description. I want you to do a couple of things in preparation for it. And this is more on the homework side. I don't want you to do it now, but I am going to want you to attempt to write your 30-second description during this. And so you'll be coming back to it. But some of the mind work beforehand, the prep work, I want you to write down the common questions that prospects might ask. And this is just in preparation for this. I don't expect you to be able to do that while you're watching the show. Um, Next, I want you to write down how does what you want to do benefit your ideal client? I want you to make a list. This is a list of the things that you do that bring you the most joy, written in terms of benefits to your ideal clients. So, how does what you do benefit your ideal client? The next thing in preparation for it is what you do, the service you provide, the clients you serve. And then the fourth thing in preparation for it is write down at least one thought-provoking question that you could ask whoever it is that you're around. Something that identifies a need, either known or unknown yet, but something that you want them to be aware of that you do. So let's give an example of that. Let's say you're a family portrait photographer, something I know little something about. So I might ask, when was the last time you had a fine family portrait created? And the reason I put in that word fine is because I don't want them to misunderstand what I mean by family portrait. I don't mean the a group of people you hastily get together at the most recent birthday party. It is a family portrait, but it's not what I'm talking about. So therefore, I want to differentiate it. So that's where I use the word fine there. When was the last time you had a fine family portrait created? And then you might ask, maybe as a follow-up question to that, how long do you think it will be until you do it again? So this is just something to get them thinking about what it is that I'm doing. And of course, I want to give them a compelling reason to act now and how to act now. So let's say that you're a business branding photographer. To schedule a strategy session, just go to and you give them the instructions on how to, just a simple website usually, to see dates and times available, and you can quickly book it. So also, well, that was all. This was mindset. Let's actually create your 30-second description using this template I'm about to share with you. And I want you to use it as a loose guide. You can use it very specifically, but use it as a loose guide to describe specifically what it is that you do. So here is it's too long to put all in one. So there's going to be two of these banners going across the bottom. So here's the first. And whatever you do, so mine is family portrait photographer. I'm dedicated to, and this is what you put in in this template space, what they do, what their goal is. And then you define what your passion is. Now, it's possible that you're adding something else in here. I'm not adding it to this, but if you have multiple things that you do, you may want to include that. It depends. But let's just say you have one thing to do because that keeps it simple. And the next part is, and this is all still the same 30-second description. My goal is to, whatever their goal is. Of course, it's yours, but you're writing it in terms of their goal. Provide my clients with whatever it is you provide your clients with. I strive to whatever it is your client wants. That's what you're striving to. And create whatever it is that you create. That will be, and this is what your ideal end result is. All right. That might be difficult to follow. So maybe you wrote it down, but let me go over that as an example. So I'm using the statement, the template that I just gave you as a guide, but here's an example of how that template could be filled out. As a family portrait photographer, I'm dedicated to creating timeless, heirloom quality images for families to enjoy now and to be able to share with future generations. My goal is to capture the love and relationships that exist within families at a specific moment in time, and to provide my clients with beautiful wall portraits that they will treasure for years to come. I strive to create images that are both beautiful and meaningful, and that will be passed down as cherished family heirlooms. I'm going to give you a few more examples because that's a good one, but a few more examples might help solidify what you want to say. I'm going to do three. As a professional portrait photographer, our mission is to capture authentic, timeless portraits that tell the unique stories of our clients and families and their families. We strive to provide an enjoyable and personalized experience for all our clients and to create beautiful, meaningful images that will be treasured for years to come. Whether you're looking for family portraits, senior portraits, or business headshots, we can help bring your vision to life through stunning professional portraits. By the way, that was an example if you do multiple things. Second example, I specialize in creating beautiful, timeless images that capture the essence of my clients. Whether you're looking for family photos, senior portraits, or professional headshots, I am committed to bringing you a personalized, enjoyable experience. Our passion is creating stunning, one of a kind portraits that reflect the personalities and passions of our clients that will be treasured for years to come. And finally, as a professional portrait photographer, my goal is to create beautiful, meaningful images that capture the unique stories and personalities of my clients. Whether it's family portraits, senior portraits, or business headshots, I provide an exceptional customer service experience and deliver stunning professional images that you will be proud to display. Every person has a story to tell, and I'm dedicated to bringing your vision to life through stunning, timeless portraits. All right. So once you've completed your compelling descriptions, the one sentence description and the 30-second description that we just went over, what do you do with them? I mean, creating them may have been fun. You may see the reason why you're doing it, but what are you doing with them? You don't want to forget about them. Your compelling description is one of your 5 workspace statements. So print print the one sentence description and 30-second description and display them in your workspace, just right here around you, allowing you to be influenced by them every time you're in your workspace. That's what you do with them. The third of 4 things that we're going over today is your speaker introduction. I mentioned it earlier, but I want to remind you that you might want to watch a previous Portrait Profit show entitled The 4 Steps to Effective Speaking. You can go to the Portrait Profits YouTube channel and you'll find it under the live tab. All of ours are live, so of course they're going to be found under the live tab. But there is one thing that really needs to be done before you get up and speak to a group. There needs to be a fantastic introduction by the host, and you are the one who writes it. You get to define how you want to be received, how you want to be introduced. Now, I learned this back in, what year was it? 1989. Maybe it was 90, but I think it was 89. When I introduced a popular comedian and ventriloquist named Jeff Dunham. You may have heard of him. The show was called Jeff Dunham and Peanut. Of course, he had several other characters then and even more now. But I was the person who introduced his show. And at my school, I introduced a lot of the entertainers that came to our school. And I could make a list and tell you some of them because there'd be names you'd know, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to talk about this one. Jeff gave me his introduction to read. So he was making sure that what was being said as the introduction to his show helped helped the vision that people had in their head as a preparation for the presentation that he was about to give. And so that's what caused me to realize how important this is. So, how do we do this? Well, using that 30-second description, I want you to tweak it so that it is in the form of someone else reading it about you. Now, that's just a starting point, and it could be as short as that, but generally that introduction is going to be just a bit longer. And I do recommend at some point, if you do a lot of speaking engagements, that just notice how much time they have to introduce you, because there's times when they have a lot and there's times when they have almost none. And so maybe have an appropriate number, maybe 2 or 3 different introductions based on the amount of time they're going to be introducing you. So by the way, here's a suggestion. Once you do write your introduction, I want you to hear it being read. Now, this could be from, hand it to someone at your work, hand it to a family member to read, or there's text to speech things out on the internet. You could there's one on Google. It's cloud.google.com/text dash to dash speech. cloud.google.com/text dash to dash speech. So you enter in your text and it reads it for you. So it's interesting to hear that being read about you, but it's a good way to make sure that this is what you intended to convey. So maybe another way of doing that is just to test this with friends and family. But also, I want you to pay attention to the responses. Now, this is something that you could do for all of your compelling descriptions, is test this with friends and family. Pay attention to their responses. Oftentimes people don't ask for clarification or more information. So maybe you have to ask, when it's friends and family, maybe you have to ask about it, but learn what it is that they think works. And encourage them to share how it could be improved. If something is confusing or if it doesn't really add much, find out what they still need to know in order to be excited and want to choose you. Here's an example, a template, an introduction that another person can use as an introduction as you to you as a speaker. So here's an example, and this is also a template. Good evening. And then you give an appropriate description of those who are gathered. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Joe Smith, the photographer's name, a talented and professional portrait photographer. Joe has spent 30 years honing his craft and has a true gift for capturing authentic, timeless portraits that tell unique stories of his clients. Joe provides an enjoyable and personalized portrait experience and delivers stunning professional images that you'll be proud to display. I know because I've had the pleasure of working with Joe personally and can attest to his talent and dedication. Without further ado, please welcome me. Please join me in welcoming Joe Smith to the stage. Now, that's just an example, but you are the one writing it. Now, of course, once you have written that, you also have to have something prepared. So yeah, there's a next step. It's not really part of what we're doing today, but I'm just going to tease it just a little bit. So the next step, of course, once you've created an introduction that someone could read about you for a speaking engagement, you're going to have to prepare something to say. That I'm just going to give you something to think about. You could say, and again, I'm just saying, my name's Joe Smith. Good evening, everyone. My name is Joe Smith, and I am a portrait photographer. I'm thrilled to be here with you today to talk about my passion for capturing authentic, timeless portraits that tell the unique stories of my clients and families. For 5 years, I have had the privilege of working with clients of all ages and backgrounds, creating beautiful, meaningful images that capture the essence of who they are. Whether it's a family portrait, high school senior, or business headshot, I'm committed to providing an enjoyable, personalized experience for all my clients and to deliver stunning professional images that they'll be proud to display for years to come. You can see that I've used the same example of 30-second description or other descriptions before. All right. Some of you may say, I don't need that one. And some of you are correct. But I guarantee when you put yourself out in front of your target market, you have now become the expert to your target market. And that is a fantastic place to be. Now, let's move on to the fourth and final, our About Me page on our website. The philosophy is the same. You want to introduce yourself in a memorable way. You want to define what you do in terms of how it benefits your ideal client. You want to cause them to want to work with you now, and you want to make them feel smart for choosing you. You're exactly what people need. You. I'm talking to you. You're exactly what people need. Your ideal client, you're exactly what they need. You just have to define who your ideal client is. But you're exactly what they need. They just need to know what it is that you're all about. As photographers, we are like tools in a tool store. Clients choose the tool that they feel will do what they want. Our responsibility to ourselves and to our prospects is to clearly define what kind of tool we are so that they can make the decision that is best for them. Your goal, if you're a screwdriver, is not to say, oh, and you can also turn me around and use me as a hammer. There's a hammer for that. Describe what you are in terms of benefits to your client. You're a tool to help them get what they want. You need to make sure that they are right for you. A great client can raise your energy. A bad one has the power to ruin your day. Or in the instance of 3 different photographers who've shared their story with me, a bad client can end your career. Besides, do you really want to work with people who drain you? No. Do a good job of defining what kind of tool you are. You can and should work with the clients that are best suited for you. And the way that you locate them is by doing a great job of describing the tool that you are. That way, if you aren't the right tool, they won't take you off the shelf. I've got some closing thoughts for today. By the way, if you are getting something out of what I'm sharing with you today, tell me in the comments. It could be as simple as thanks. I appreciate this. By the way, things that are simple as thank you, I appreciate this, or I needed this, or this helped me today. At the end of the show, I post several of those, and you might get to see your name and your kind comment at the end of the show if you take the time to put it in the comments. All right, so closing thoughts. I hope that creating your compelling descriptions ignites a spark within you to take control of your life and do a better job of following your passions so that you can confidently convey what it is that you do. Remember, every action, no matter how small, can lead to great change. It's up to you to seize the opportunities and make a positive impact on your world. My goal is to empower you to a purpose driven life so you're able to leave a lasting legacy. So get out there and make your mark. I'm going to bring Amanda back on the screen with us. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Jim.
So, did you have some things that you wanted to share with us?
Digital Pro Lab wise,
Yeah.
always, always happy to share. I did want to say that I learned a lot from today's
Oh, good.
topic. You know, even my business, as long as we've been around, it's always a work in progress, and it's always good to ask ourselves the questions that you were asking and redevelop who we are, and continue to articulate what we do as a professional photo lab here in San Antonio. You know, I know our city, our community continues to want us to do different things. So we're always listening and we're always evolving. So I know our compelling description continues to grow and evolve along with us based on the needs that we always have for our customers and those that need things from us. So I love the topic, and I hope everybody learned something from it. So that's my 2 cents for today on the topic. And then for Digital Pro Lab, one of the things that we listened to from our customers is the needs that they have for what we do, right? So care quality expertise for all of your photo needs. That's one of the slogans, one of the things that we talk about, and it kind of hits 3 different points. And one of those things is care quality expertise, right? Expertise is a big one, which means that people are looking for answers to a lot of the questions that they have. And I know Portrait Profits provides a lot of those answers to the questions that a lot of our professional portrait photographers have. And in addition to that, we've also launched photo nights to help bring more teachers in with answers to different types of questions, right? So I do have that. Let me see if I can add it real quick. So here on our website, if you're not familiar, hopefully a lot of you are because you've been watching and paying attention, right? But Digital Pro Lab, just hop on over to digitalprolab.com. This is what our main website is going to look like. But if you look right up at the top where we have our events, let me jump over to that really quick. Where we have events right here, we just go ahead and click on that. And there you see every Monday and what times they are, when our Portrait Profits are going to be listed. And then over on the right-hand side, you're going to see additional options. So we've got coming up our Photo Nights event on the 8th. Still a few more seats left. So if you're interested in learning photography by design, so this is where we're going to be taking photography from a bit of a different aspect. We're going to learn through design principles on how exactly to create compelling photography. And that fits with portrait photographers as well. It's really how to see something a little bit differently than maybe you've learned or you've been taught. So I encourage you to sign up for that. They're only $25, so it's very affordable. So that's part of our value that we bring to San Antonio. If you're here in the city and you want to come and hang out with us within the lab, otherwise, online, this is open to everybody throughout the United States and beyond through Portrait Profits. And hopefully we've got some people outside of San Antonio that are able to actually benefit from a lot of the stuff that we do for our customers alongside Jim. So, all right, so that's what I've got thus far, Jim.
Cool. I love all the things that are going on to help portrait photographer or help photographers of all kinds. You guys at Digital Pro Lab are always working hard to make sure that our photographs are beautiful when they're printed, and you guys are, you're making us look like heroes to our clients, and that is a big deal. And we appreciate that, and your continuing efforts, not just the ones that we might expect, but well beyond that. So thank you for all that you're doing and your team.
Of course, thanks, Jim.
All right, so let's talk about the upcoming shows. And As you know, every single week we have the Portrait Profit Show. It's every single Monday. And so I want to tell you about what's coming up. The next class that we have is 1 week from today, and we're going to be bringing on a panel of three people to talk about marketing. Amanda, did you want to talk about the three guests that we're going to have?
Yes, although my brain's trying to switch from one topic to the next, right?
Sorry, put you on the spot.
No, you're good. So you want to talk about the topic really quick, and then I'll maybe pepper in.
Sure. So we have a lot of things that work in the marketing part of our business, and we have some things that don't work that well. So not everything is working as well as we want it to. I want you to come next Monday, and on the second Monday of every month, we move it to 6:30 in the evening, and we have a panel of three come on and share their opinions and experiences on a specific subject. This one is marketing and what works. So we're going to have three panelists come on that are going to share their marketing efforts and what is working for them right now, and suggest to you what is going to help you potentially work. Now, everybody's different. These things are just suggestions. If it fits what you're trying to do, great. But no matter what, it's going to be good information.
All right. So the first speaker that we have is Christy with Coasis Media. So Coasis Media is actually an arm of Digital Pro Labs marketing team. It's a completely different company, but they're amazing. So if you follow Digital Pro Lab and you've noticed, over the last 6 months that our marketing has started to change a little bit. We're kind of incorporating more storytelling, bringing to the forefront a lot of the individuals that we help, because sometimes that helps people relate to others that maybe have a certain need, in photography or in creative, and they are able to tell that story and share it with everybody, so that y'all really know what we're able to do. So they're at the forefront of all of that. So we've been doing a lot of brainstorming. So I wanted to bring them as a resource to all of y'all, because I know that what's working for us might also work for y'all. And they're happy to do that. They're at Coasis Media. So that's Christy. She's amazing. You're going to be blown away by her, because I am, and she's just great. The next one is Gabriel. Gabriel is the head of SA Creatives here in San Antonio. We have several different forums and meetups and all of these things for photography. But SA Creative is a fairly new one, probably within the last 2 years. 1 to 2 years has grown exponentially. And they've really been able to grow because Gabriel and his team are geniuses when it comes to marketing. So they're doing a lot of social media marketing. They're doing a lot of advocate marketing and that sort of stuff. So I think that he was a really important person, not only as a resource for y'all, so you know that there's an additional resource as photographers, learning lighting, learning all of that good stuff, but also on the marketing side, he's amazing, and he's a great resource for y'all to know. So we wanted to bring him on as well. And then the last one is Elizabeth Homan, who is formerly, I don't know, Jim, did she just finish her term with Professional Photographers of San Antonio? I think she just finished her term, or she's about to, the president.
Yeah, I don't recall when her term ends, but yeah, either current or just past.
Yeah.
President. Yeah.
Yeah, and she is a professional photographer here in San Antonio, an amazing portrait photographer. If you don't know Elizabeth Homan, what's her company name, Jim? Just so we can put that out there. I want to make sure I say it right.
Her company name is Artistic Images.
Yeah. So Artistic
She's
Images.
been around, I think, since 91.
Yeah. And grown, and has continued to evolve within her company as photography and the needs of her clientele have changed. She's changed with them, and she implements different types of marketing in order to do that. So we definitely wanted to bring a successful portrait photographer in the panel, just so that y'all can see, what's working for her, what's worked, and how that's changed over the years, and how she continues to develop her marketing plan in order to stay kind of top of mind, not only with her customers, but future customers as well. So we've got a really great panel, and I hope that we've brought enough people together from different industries within the marketing and photography that y'all can really ask some questions along with the questions that, of course, Jim is going to mediate and ask on y'all's behalf. But definitely be a part of that if you have questions on marketing. I love marketing. It's a passion of mine, and I'm glad we're going to be talking about it. And I know Jim also loves marketing as well.
It's so much fun.
There's
Yeah,
no right or wrong answer in marketing, really. It's trial and error, and try this, try that, and figure out what's going to work for you. Not everybody's going to have the exact same
that's right.
formula. And I think it was last topic or the topic before that. Sometimes we feel a little uneasy about selling or what words to use or what language to use. And marketing kind of helps that kind of gets you out of your comfort zone, but also do something a little bit within it. And I think that that's important to kind of explore some different things, because I know me being in front of a camera, as natural as I seem right now, right, is probably one of the scariest things for me. But I know that as a business owner, sometimes I need to be in the front of the camera so people can put a face and a personality, a person, versus just a corporate company, right? And we want to be accessible to our customers, because that's what builds that familiarity. And how do you do that from a marketing standpoint, where it's social media as that platform? How do you put yourself and make yourself accessible in that vein? So there's a lot there. So I'm really excited for the panel.
Me too. You guys put that on your calendar. That's a week from today. And of course, every time we do the panel, it's the second Monday of each month. We move it to 6:30 in the evening. And that's just to it's a change. It's just to accommodate people who can't make it for lunchtime, which it makes it easier for us to be able to get on our panelists, because they're working during the day, and it makes it easier for us to be able to put them on the panel when we move it to the evening. And so it's a win-win. Win-win-win. Uh, so put that on your calendar, 6:30 next week. That's February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. And the one that we have after that is on February 20th at noon. And that one is the art of attracting ideal clients. Clients are not just anyone with a pulse, nor are they anyone who has some bucks in their pocket. Ideal clients are people who energize you and want to work with you so much that they do whatever it takes, even saving up for a year to work with you. But we have to identify what the ideal client is in order to attract them. It's kind of like when you buy a new car, all of a sudden there's more of them on the road than ever before. That's the magic that's going to happen when you define your ideal client. And then on February 27th, we're going to be talking about the 3 Ps for a professional portrait photographer. The 3 Ps. Now, what's that? Well, you can have everything you want in life as long as you define it. Because it is in defining it that you have potential to create a path to be able to get there. The 3 Ps are the key performance indicators for you personally as a professional portrait photographer to define where you are and what you're going to be doing next. That is February 27th at noon, the 3 Ps for a professional portrait photographer. Does those sound interesting?
Always.
Cool. All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to share before I bring another episode to a close?
Well, just hi, everybody. Hope you have a great week, a great Monday. Come see us at Digital Pro Lab here on San Pedro if you're in San Antonio. Come say hi to me, my team. Come look at all the different products. There's still plenty of time. Don't worry. I'm sure some of you, like me, are lagging a little bit behind in certain areas. So, don't worry. You have Jim, you have me at Digital Pro Lab, and my entire team on top of that to help you with the rest of the year. So just come by and say hi.
Nice. Thanks, Amanda. We
You're
appreciate you. All right. So I want to thank you for your time and attention today and for all the effort that you are making to be the amazing portrait photographer that you are. I encourage you to like, to share the Portrait Profit Show, and of course, tune in to our next live stream a week from today at 6:30. Together, we can help each other achieve our goals and make a difference in the world through our passion for photography. Now, get out there, continue making those memories and evoking those emotions that bring happiness to others. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, this is Jim Landers bringing you the weekly Portrait Profit Show, giving you evolving content, awareness, and even fun to the business side of photography as we unpack the mysteries of the business side of photography, offering tips and insights to help you with the struggles you deal with now so you are constantly realigned to the path that leads to the success you deserve. Thank you for investing your time here on the Portrait Profit Show.